Good afternoon, it's Chris Potter. February 6, 2017. Little presentation for you today. This is a follow-up to a video I had put out on February 5th, 2017. UFO footage, a physicist's thoughts, February 5th, 2017. In this article, I'm going to analyze some UFO footage from a Chris Potter video. I will put the link below to the original controversial video. Figure 1 shows 4 images of this footage. Let me preface this by saying we know that this is an aircraft of some type or a military craft, and it's moving very quickly. The term UFO is being used loosely. This channel and this particular video is for entertainment purposes only. You shouldn't take anything I say here to heart in any way, shape, or form. Since the time is shown on the top right, we know the time interval between each image. The 6 frames in figure 1 below are from 1846-57, 4701, 4703, 4704, 4705, and 4707. Figure 1, still images of video footage with those previously mentioned timestamps. So in the first image, there is a little light in the distance. Totally looks like an airplane or military craft. Period. The end. Above the mountain. That's this dude right here. Okay? It's blurry. It's out of focus. It's one of those goofy sky cams. It could be a flying cheese sandwich. That's fine. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take anything to heart here. Please. The light is so small that it's difficult to see. So a blown up version of the first image in figure 1 is shown in figure 2 below, right here. The little light in the distance is indicated by a red arrow in figure 2. The light is still very small in the second image in figure 1, and then it suddenly does get large, so in the third image at 1847:03. It suggests that the object emitting the light suddenly turns its light on to full power, as the light never grows in size as fast as then in the footage that follows. After this, the light gets larger gradually, indicating that it's moving towards the camera. Figure 2, larger version, of the first image in figure 1. The red arrow indicates the light in the distance. So figure 3 below shows more still images, taken from the video footage appearing in figure 1, showing that light continuing to get larger. It seems to keep approaching the camera until the 5th image, from 1847:17. Then from 1847:19, 6th image in figure 3, the craft emitting the bright light changes course and moves upwards. The craft changes its direction of motion from moving towards the camera to moving sideways and upward. There is a 90-degree course change that occurs within a time period of 2 seconds. Normal passenger aircraft should never be able to withstand those type of stresses involved in such an abrupt change of course. Okay? It's a fast military plane, craft. Big deal. Figure 3, still images of video footage for timestamps of 1847:09, 4711, 4713, 4716, 4717, 4719, 4721, 4722, and 4724 on. The mountain scene in the background and all the images in figures 1 through 3 appear to be around 30 kilometers away. This is a conservative, rough guesstimate. The light starts off moving from above the mountain at 1847.03 and approaches the camera. It reaches its closest position to the camera at 1847.17. At that time, we can, again, conservatively estimate that the craftoid, because we don't want to use the word UFO, because that scares people, has traveled a distance of 20 kilometers in 14 seconds. Thus, its speed would have been 1.4 kilometers per second. The speed of sound is 340 meters per second, so the object roughly must have been calculated as traveling 4 times faster than the speed of sound, i.e. Mach 4. Normal passenger aircraft do not travel at this high speed so close to the ground. The object starts climbing at 1847.19 and reaches the top of the image at 1847.24. Again, conservative estimate for the distance it climbs in those 6 seconds would be 500 meters. This would mean that the object climbs at 83 meters per second. The climb rate, or this particular climb rate, is nearly twice what a normal passenger airplane's climb rate is. I don't know what that is exactly, nor have I looked, nor has she. Rough guesstimate, okay? The object also changes direction very rapidly. In fact, the craft changes its direction of motion from directly towards the camera to moving sideways and climbing. Again, it is a 90-degree change in its course within a period of about 2 seconds. Normal craft, normal passenger aircraft, we do not believe can withstand those stresses in such an abrupt change of course at much slower speeds. So the fact that the craft is traveling at least at Mach 4 at a calculated rough guesstimate makes it a little strange. Also, the light that seems to envelop the craft is not what we would expect an airplane to have. Passenger airplane must have a green light on one wing and a red light on the other. And the lights have to be strobe lights. Strobe lights are flashing lights. The craft in this image does not have any flashing lights that we can see. It very well could be blurry and out of focus, and we might not see it because it's a sky cam or one of these goofy FAA webcams or just a webcam that different countries put out, etc., for aeronautical purposes, weather purposes. They're not the best housing that's in those cameras to protect the lens. It makes things distorted. It makes them look a little bit alien-like. We get that. In conclusion, the craft in the footage travels faster, climbs faster, and changes course much faster than we would expect from current passenger airplanes or military craft. That is a rough estimate and a rough guesstimate of a statement with no research at all. Okay? We're just mentioning these things move pretty quick. The craftoids, okay? We don't want to say UFO, kind of like we don't want to say Planet X, because people freak out. They do. Figure 4, images from video footage showing triangular light emitting craft indicated by yellow arrows and craft that emit long lines of light indicated by green arrows. I will put the link below to the original video, my video, where it says UFOs in the title, which is a very roughly used word, okay? Figure 4 above shows some images of footage of several craft seemingly taking off. The craft seem to emit a triangular shaped non-flashing light. That's what it appears to be. Again, the housing, these goofy webcams, come on, man, they're pretty low def, some of them. And the housing makes things look all kinds of weird. It's not zoomed in. This is not someone's personal camera. So it really doesn't help the investigation, does it? We understand that. The absence of flashing lights, again, that we can see indicate that they are not airplanes, potentially passenger airplanes. Several of the craft, wow, are seen taking off, one right behind one another, very rapidly, I might add. They climb diagonally to the right and then disappear. Normal passenger aircraft do not usually suddenly disappear one after one another. The other objects that appear in the footage seem to emit lines of light that travel extraordinarily fast. A conservative estimate would be that they travel right across the frame in a quarter of a second. An estimate of that distance from one edge to the frame to the other would be 1 kilometer. This means that the craft associated with the lines of light seen in the images in Figure 4 had to be traveling at least 4 kilometers per second, which is 12.5 times faster than the speed of sound, or Mach 12.5. Even advanced military planes are not supposed to be able to travel that fast, and certainly would not travel at a supersonic speed whilst climbing so close to the ground as we see these craft were doing. In conclusion, the triangular light emitting craft, the long light emitting light craft in Figure 4, and the large circular light emitting craft in Figures 1, 2, and 3 do not look like craft typically designed for public airplanes, nor typical military craft. They may be off the record military craft, most likely. These craft move very quickly. These are rough guesstimates. I will use the word craft from now on, since UFO makes people freak. Have a good day, Chris Potter. Thanks again. Take care. Bye now.